speak to Jack. Jack, good evening to you.
Hi.
Tell me about what
Hello.
you think of what's been going on.
I'm an intensive care consultant. I'm on call at the moment. I can't tell you where I am. But we are very busy and we're filling up. And I've just taken a little break and I thought I'd listen. I've been listening throughout the day and meaning to phone because it is beyond me why people don't see what they are creating by just continuing to go out. We're treating the people who got infected 2 weeks ago, and we're getting full. So people getting infected now, who will be treated in 2 weeks' time, I don't know what's going to happen. I was driving in today, I can't remember whose show it was. Anyway, I thought I'd get in pretty quickly because there'd be nobody on the streets, but it took me longer to get to work than normal. And I was just amazed at the number of people I saw on the roads, on the streets, walking, going in and out of shops, which is fair enough. They've got to buy food. And then I think Sheila Fogarty said that she had heard that on her tweets that people who are not working and are working from home are going into the bars. And that's what happened in Italy. And the only way this virus stops is if we stop touching each other. If we got to keep 2 meters away from each other, we've got to wash our hands and just not touch anybody. And it may not be you that gets it, but for every one person that gets it off you, by the time 10 people have got it and it's passed through 10 lots of infection, we're up to tens of thousands of people who will have this virus, of which 10% will come into hospital, of which 4% will come into ICUs. You don't need to be a mathematician.
Yeah,
completely.
You're already filling up.
Full. We're expanding. This is serious. I don't know. Yeah. I don't quite get, why a government has to tell you, don't go to a pub. If you go to a pub, somebody who gets the infection that you may have, it may not be the person you touch, but within 10 people, there'll be people who will be dead. That's basically the way this thing works. And I think anyone who goes for a Mother's Day thing to somebody's pub, it's beyond immoral. This will not stop unless we stop going out and infecting other people.
You sound, Jack, not just frustrated, but quite
furious.
upset. Yeah.
Well, I've been now doing this for, I don't know, 3 weeks we've been doing this. It's getting worse. There are doctors going down. There are nurses going down. Healthcare workers will die. There's been people in Italy, many healthcare workers who have died. And, I've cried. My colleagues have cried. I've been doing this for 25 years. I've never seen anything anywhere near this. Swine flu was a ripple compared to this. And it's catastrophic. And I just feel I'm on a sort of parallel planet to the rest of this country. I just don't. I come to work and I'm in a different universe to what's going on outside the window, and I can't understand why people don't get it. This isn't a joke. There will be no pubs because there'll be nobody going into them. This has got to stop. And I am very upset, and I'll be a different person at the end of it. And so will a lot of my colleagues. And, I don't know what will happen, but,
Well, look, Jack, I just
feel extremely strongly that, when I'm hearing people saying, I'm just going to go to the pub, it's Mother's Day, I don't care. Well, I'm afraid that is killing people. It's going to kill people, and not just kill people, people who may survive it. could be crippled, be respiratory crippled for the rest of their lives. Do you not necessarily just get better? You may not die, but you don't necessarily get back to what you were. And we will be overwhelmed, even if everybody just goes into their rooms now and doesn't go out again from what's happened in the last 2 weeks, because this sort of respiratory stuff comes 10 days after the infection that you get. So we're going to be looking at people
when you hear the Prime Minister talking about we can get this down and we can start to turn the tide on this in 12 weeks. From your medical expertise, from everything that you have seen, and the complete juxtaposition between what you're seeing at work and what you're seeing when you come into work, what do you make of that 12-week assessment?
Yeah, we can. You just got to stay in your... I'm sorry, almost swore. I saw something on CNN, and the guy said, we're a generation of people who have strived to make our lives so that we can basically function from a sofa. You can sit and watch Netflix, sit and watch Sky, order everything on Amazon, order anything on Ocado. You don't need to go out. When we were at war, in the war, not this war that we're in now, people were lying about their ages and lying about their health so that they could go into battle and fight and die for our country. All we're asking, all people are asking, is for you to go and sit on your sofa. And I know that it's going to cause a lot of problems. I know I'm going to be getting paid and I can pay my mortgage, and I'm very lucky if I survive, But, which I may not do, I'm not, we don't know, right? But that's what people are being asked to do. It's not, that's it. The virus doesn't crawl under your door. The only way you'll get it is if you go to a pub or a club or a restaurant or go on the tube and you get it off somebody. If you sit in your house, you won't get it, right? And nobody else will get it. And the virus can only live if it goes from one person to another person. If that doesn't happen, the virus is gone. It's finished. And we may have to wait for a vaccination, and we may have to have a bit of inconvenience for a while. And I know that a lot of people are going to be, financially crippled, and that's not my remit, and I'm not in the government, and I can't deal with all of that. But, if we don't do it, we've had it. There's no
I wonder,
choice.
Jack, whether then your assessment of how serious this is means that forget the pubs and the clubs and the restaurants and closing them down. You need an Italian-style, Chinese-style, complete total lockdown. People told to stay in their homes. Otherwise, the chances of spreading this are greatly increased. Do you think that's needed?
You just need to... I don't know why we think we're sort of not Italy and not China, and the virus is somehow different in the UK or in America. It's going to be different. And I understand we're a liberal democracy and we're not China, and I get that. And I don't know what will happen in China when they start to release people. There's still lots of people who can get it. They're not immune. So I don't know. I'm not an immunologist and I'm not an epidemiologist. I don't. But I do know that if we carry on just passing this virus to each other, we're going to be overwhelmed. However many beds, however many ventilators we have, however many IT nurses we have. That's all I know. Sorry, go on.
Sorry to interrupt you.
I'm going to have to go in a bit because I've got to go.
No, that's all right. Well, let me just read this to you before I let you go, because what you have said and described is unbelievably powerful and pretty harrowing. Let me just read you this from Mandy. Tom, I'm listening to Jack. I'm uncontrollably crying. I own my own cafe and I'm doing what I think is morally right, and I'm closing it tomorrow.
Good. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, really. And I want to just say one other thing, if you don't mind.
Please.
Every time politicians or anyone talks, and I'm very grateful for the fact that they all say, we really... value our frontline staff. I don't want to hear that anymore. What I'd like after this is finished is for people to realise that my nurses who are putting their life on the line, we, by the way, very close to running out of advisors, so that people are going to just have not enough. We don't have enough. Well, I don't know. That's a different thing. But anyway, but these people who are earning nothing, not nothing, but 25 grand, are coming to work and putting their lives, literally, they're putting their lives on the line, and they're going to be doing it for 3 months at least, I think. Mm. And all I want, rather than people saying thank you, is when it's finished, for these people to be given a coffee room to sit in, to be given a kettle, coffee, milk, maybe a Christmas dinner that's paid for or given to them by the hospital rather than making our own one. Not have to pay car parking charges. You know, not having to put up posters on our doors saying, please do not abuse the staff. Mm. Not standing there being shouted at and screamed at by the general public. That's a thank you. And that's not a pay rise. That won't cost anything. You know, just a bit of kindness and thought.
Jack, right, I'm so glad you were listening. Well, look, I'm so glad you were listening to LBC.
I'm going to get cross, and I just need to go.
No, I know. Look, we can hear it. We can feel it. We can hear it. I was going to say thank you to you, but I completely accept your point that words are not enough. You need some action, and it doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be huge sums of money. Having somewhere where you can have a break and have a cup of coffee is all it takes. But Jack, what you did, and what I hope the effect of what you have done this evening on the people who are listening to the programme tonight, I hope you have driven some change by driving through the reality of this. And it's not a reality that people like, and it's not something that people want to hear, and it is scary. But my God, if it means that a couple of people decide not to go to the pub or the cafe tomorrow, or cafes decide to close down by themselves, then thank God, because you're helping Jack out, you're helping his colleagues out, and you're helping the country out. Thank you so much for your call.